Okay, so this is part two. Now, as a person of multiculturalist, and like I said on many of my things, I don't have the right to be a racist, so let's get that out of the way. I do not have the right to be a racist because I am of the three primary races that form this country. Probably more so than others of Native American and black descent. And I know in my heart of hearts, I will never, ever, ever, ever be white. That does not make me love white people any less. But, I'm trying to respect everyone and I'm trying not to sound like a racist, but this is a very racist topic. And, you know, somebody has to have the balls to do or ask the questions that no one else will ask. Now, there's a woman, and I can't remember her name. She has short hair and she has glasses, and she made a very racist impact on teaching uh, white people their privilege versus black people their privilege. But she did leave off people like me. Apparently, there's not enough mixed people in her college classes, and I would love to meet her and everything, but that's not going to happen. I don't know if she's still alive. But bona fideness of this is the fact that I really wanted to know if when white people come home and watch the news, not like for tragedies, but for like these incidences with the guy um, taking his student all the way from Tennessee or wherever to California and finally being busted by another young person. And the same thing. This has happened with like those girls in Chicago with the black guy who helped her, and he got on the screen, and either he was just nervous from TV or he wasn't fully educated in his language department. I'm not trying to put the guy out for how he spoke. I'm just trying to clarify that he might have spoke that way because a lot of people who aren't educated don't know how to talk educatedly or educationally, depending on how you want to me educate you on a lot of people's language issues. Because a lot of people just speak ignorant just because they not ignorant. It's just how they talk. You know, Sam Jackson did a video once about somebody asking him how come he talks so loud or how he cusses and everything. And he says, "Well, that's just how I talk." And that it could very well be the situation with the guy who rescued the kidnapped young women in Chicago, and the same thing with Jesse Dugard and all those other people. But most of those people have been victims of people who were white, except for the girls in Chicago. The dude was Spanish or Latin American or whatever. Even though he took the bitch way out and hung himself, you know, it's a lot of questions for me that I would like to ask. And no, I'm not reading that. I'm reading something about a lady's butt. Um, Miss Bum Bum, totally off subject. But anyway, just because I'm looking at my phone and everybody's going to be watching this video, they're going to be like, well, was he reading this? No, I'm not reading this. I'm looking at my phone at this Brazilian woman right here. Okay, so you don't think I'm like totally reading off this shit. No, this shit's coming straight out of my own brain capacity, if you want to call my brain having some capacity. Anyway, I'm not like dumb, but I'm not exactly a genius. Okay, I'm a genius at certain things, like maybe fighting, but other than that, back on subject. I just wanted to know because I like white people. It might not sound like it with this video, but I do like white people. I have nothing but love and respect for white people. I have white people in my family. My ancestors, some of them were white. You know, um, I love Native American people and I love black people, and I definitely love Asian people. So I want to clarify because I know, like, all right, in Asia, there's not a lot of people who are non-Asian doing what they do here. Like, all right, white people in Asia aren't going around doing kidnapping and stuff and doing crazy shit. I mean, well, one, they stand out like a sore thumb, wide eye, I'm sorry, I know Asian people, so Asian people would usually use the term wide eye, guaylo, gaijin, depending on what country of Asia you're in. And most of them prefer to white people as wide eye because their eyes are wide. So they call them wide eye. Now, I'm not trying to sound racist. I'm not trying to make Asian people sound racist in that, but I know Asian people. And, they're like, well, depending on what region of what Asian country, sometimes, and they're not doing it out of spite or evil, but, what white people have done over there in their country reflects them when other people come visit them. So, it's kind of the same thing as like when one black person fucks up here and it reflects us. So, and it's universal. No matter what country you go in, if someone has heard something bad about your people, it reflects you. And so I was asking the question because I know in Asia there's not a whole lot of white people going around kidnapping their students. It's just not. And as far as black people, I think black people like rarely visit China. They might like visit Japan and Indonesia and stuff like that. Unless like I guess you can call them hired mercenaries and shit like that. Because over in that side of the world, laws are different there, and things work differently there. So you don't want to step on people's toes. You want to know enough about a country that you don't get yourself killed when you go there. So it would help to know their laws when you land. I mean, I was really young when the Singapore cane thing came out, and see when I was a kid and that came out, the first thing I thought, because the parents' kids were diplomats or some shit, and I was like, God, whatever you do not let that kid be black. I don't care what that kid has done. Don't let him be black. And then they showed what the kid done. I mean, he threw stop signs through people's car windows and shit like that. And I guess he thought the diplomatic community was gonna save him from that Singapore ass whooping that he so richly asked for. It didn't. And I don't really blame the government for that. I would love to blame his parents, but it's not always your parents' fault if you decide to take decisive action and do something stupid. So, moving back to Brown's the full subject, the young lady and her parents, and even the teacher's parents, are the teacher's families are now talking publicly. And, he has said that he just wanted to help her run away, and it was like no love thing going on, or no Beauty and the Beast story, any of that. And, I'm not one to call bullshit on a lot of people, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're gonna help somebody run away and they're like a teenager, I wouldn't have done it that way. I damn sure wouldn't have went with her. If I was gonna help somebody run away, I'm gonna tell you how I would do it. I don't advise this to anybody, because 9 times out of 10, I think you can go to jail for harboring a minor if they're a runaway. I can't swear to that because I don't know what the laws are from state to state about running away or people helping runaways. Because it's a crime, but I don't know the extension of the crime. But if I'm gonna help someone run away, I'm only gonna send them to people that I know personally would never put a fucking thought of harming them into their heads. If I'm gonna send someone, I would send someone like to my Aunt Ruth, or like, here's your first stopping stone. Like the Underground Railroad. I would like, all right, my Aunt Ruth has never hurt a child. She has never hurt me. She has never so much as cussed at me or anything. If I've done anything wrong, she would talk to me like I'm a human being with feelings, and she might raise her voice, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, she's gonna raise her voice like, you're doing wrong, blah blah blah. Tap that foot, smack that finger. I'm gonna send her or him, if I'm helping them run away, to her. I will give her all the details, and I would let her know what's going on. I would send them with money. I say, do not get off that bus until you get to Roofs. I'm gonna say, when that bus stops at the city at this time, that is when she's gonna be there. She'll have a picture of the person, all that. I'll send her like a text message, and I will show that girl what my Aunt Ruth looks like, and everything would be kosher. So they'll know each other long before she gets there. Because if I'm involved, I'm not gonna travel with. There's nothing says you're guilty quicker than jumping on a bus with a 15-year-old and traveling across country. Money and gas and travel is not cheap. And all the work that teachers do, teachers don't get paid enough to make those kind of trips on a teacher's budget. Yeah, that's just really not an option. I know teachers. My best friend's mom was a teacher. She might still be a teacher. I don't know, but either way, she was a teacher, and teachers, they don't get what they're worth when it comes to being paid. So for him to do that, he had to like pull some rabbits out of some hats or something. But anyway, something bit me. But the long and short is, if I'm going to help someone, I'm going to help them, but I'm not going to travel with them because I'm going to go to work as usual. but I'm gonna make sure that they have what they need. They're gonna have a survival package. They're gonna have money because I'm gonna give them enough money. I'm gonna buy the ticket, and I'm gonna give them enough money to get where they're going. You know, so if I had to, I would set up the chain of command. You know, every time this person gets to where they're supposed to be, they got to check in with me so that I would know where they are at all times. You know, there would be safety measures involved that don't involve me personally being there. But this guy said he just wanted to help her run away. I do. She's 15 and you have a family, so you're going to throw your entire life away and your career to help a 15-year-old girl who you suspect is being abused at home. Okay, let me tell you where you went wrong. You went wrong by not following through with procedure. If you're suspecting someone is being abused, and teachers all know this because they're all taught this from state to state, it's a mandate now. And I know this because as a person in the Army, there are proper authorities and channels that you must go through. All right? If you're trying to help anybody do anything, you have to know these proper channels. First off, if your kid is brought to the hospital on more than one occasion for something that, like, okay, how many times can this kid fall off a fucking bicycle? I was pretty clumsy, but also I was a boy and I'm a dumb kid. And if I see someone else do it, monkey see, monkey do. So yeah, that's kind of touching that line. But you get different bruises when you fall off a bike. But if you have bruises in the same spot, like you keep getting a fist print in the face or some shit, and you got to go to the hospital because your eye or your ear is bleeding because somehow or another a socket busted in here, the hospitals are going to report that to the authorities. So in school, if they think that there's something wrong, because they have sent notes home, and they also are going to report to DHS, CPS, the CIA, the FBI, the police. They're going to do that. You're not going to take a 15-year-old 7 states away. That's not a fucking option. If you think someone's being abused and you think you have to go through all that to help them, yeah, you're playing yourself. And that's a stone cold fact. Like I said, if I'm going to help a child, I'm going to give them the money they need. I'm going to set up people that I know in certain areas that are going to check in with me at the designated time. It's like, all right, so it's a 9-hour ride by bus from Virginia to Florida. If I know someone in Florida, and I would like, look, all right, here, look, I'm sending this teenage girl who's being abused to you in Florida. She's looking for sanctuary. So I done gave her $1,000 plus bus fare. She's not to get off that bus. She's to transfer her over, but she's not to get off that bus. I bought the ticket with specific instructions, and you can give specific instructions to bus facilities to make sure that this person gets where they're going, and especially when it's a kid under 18, the drivers are going to look out for them. So, it's like, look, I can't guarantee the driver's going to keep them safe, but the drivers are supposed to look out for them because that's their fucking job. And I would tell them, I was like, look, I want specific instructions. I want her, when she's on transfer buses, I want these instructions to go to the next bus driver because, y'all have to make sure that she gets there. You know, and white people know this because white people have done this all the time. I knew a kid when I was a kid who traveled by himself before he was like 14. He was like always traveling. I was like, okay. So, and I guess he's still alive. I don't know. I can't remember his name. But I know he's a white guy. And he traveled everywhere. His grandmother was from somewhere. And he flew like from out of Richmond or whatever. And his parents never went with him. And I was like, oh, that's a nice life. But people do that. So if you're going to help somebody, that's how you do it. You don't sit there and like, all right, well, I'm going to either take a leave of absence and drive this kid all the way across the state. No, fuck that. You know, you know people in certain places and you know who you can trust, and that's who you send them to. You don't send them from one monster to another monster, which is why I said I would send any girl or boy that was in trouble. I have certain people on my father's side of the family that I know I could get away with this, and I would send them to that person to get them to where they need to be in a safe spot. Also, I would provide them with enough money to live off of until they can get on their feet, providing that I had it myself, especially if I had a good job like a full-time teacher or a teacher who has more than one job. If I'm teaching at high school and I'm teaching at college, I'm pretty much working all the time, so I'm going to have money. But, for this guy who's not like nothing but a high school teacher, he's not making that kind of money. I don't know if he was married, if he had kids, but, he clearly wasn't thinking while doing this. So, but on the other hand, I'm a thinking man. I'm always a planning man. So if I know somebody's in trouble, I'm gonna send them somewhere where they're gonna be safe. But I will tell you this: um, if you're gonna help someone and you know somewhere they can be safe, hide them right out in the open. No, because personally, if I'm a teacher and this kid doesn't want to go home, if I'm married and I have a wife there, I would ask her if my wife would get the girl and let the girl just stay in our house. Now, I'm not doing anything with that child because I have a wife. But if I'm single, that's not a fucking option. No, I will go talk. I would take her to a church. Honestly, truly, God, I would take her to church. I mean, okay, well, churches aren't 1,000% safe nowadays, but I would take her to a church in which I trusted. You know, I wouldn't take her to a Catholic church, but I would take her to a church. I would take her somewhere where I know that she would be in good hands, in God's hands. Or plan A, like I said, I send her to people that I know would keep her safe. All she has to do is just get there in one piece. And the only way she can do that is to follow instructions carefully. And like, do not veer off your course. Unless by chance your bus is hijacked, there's no reason for you to not be on the buses that I put you on. No reason at all. So you get on these buses, and when you get to this person, they're gonna drive you to the next stop. The next stop, if it might take a day or two, the next stop is where you'll get on your next person. You know, I'd have a setup to where the person can meet a person that can meet the person, but they would only be people that I know for a fact would never rape a child, molest a child, sell a child for sex trafficking. I would make sure that the people that I'm sending this child to has a degree of safety because I know them like the back of my hand. And like I said, as far as my Aunt Ruth is concerned, she would be the first person that I would get to help me because I know that she would never do anything to harm anybody's kid. Now, other family members who I will remain nameless, but I know that they wouldn't hurt people, so that's who would be the people that I would send them to because I know that they would keep that person safe, and then I would journey down there, talk to them, explain what's going on, and then I go back home. Like if I send a person down there and they get there by Tuesday, I'll be down there come Saturday because I'll catch the first bus, train, whatever the hell out. Anybody asks, well, I went to my aunt's for the weekend. That's all you need to know. Wouldn't be a lie, but some people don't know how to do things correctly. But in the situation, I'll make a third video. I'm James Williams. This is Kung Fu Habit number 2. BC.